Hey everyone, I just want to, I don't know how many times I've seen people talking about they want jobs to come back to the United States, they want manufacturing jobs back and everything. And I've even seen people that tend to know a little more about economics, understand that that's going to mean things cost more. But a lot of people just think that they're going to still get everything for the same price and all will be great. As far as corporate greed and everything, I'll talk about that in another video if I decide to make one, if I find it necessary. But let's talk about this for just a minute. Now, this is something that I would consider basic economics. I mean, like just basic economics. But it seems so many people just don't understand this part. So let's take a look at this for just a minute. We get things a lot cheaper. People gripe about they go to Walmart and things are all made in all these foreign countries, yet they keep going to Walmart. Okay, let's just look over that for just a minute. But let's look at the real cost. Who really gets hurt by this? So when we talk about things being made in America, those who are a little more economic literate understand that it means things are going to cost more to have them made here, and therefore the price is going to be higher. And so let's see who gets hurt by that. Let's take somebody let's look at the math. Let's do this real quick. Let's take somebody that makes $20,000 a year, all right? And now if you break this down, that comes out to $9.62 an hour, well above the minimum wage. Well, not well above, but above the minimum wage. And that's how much you would get paid per hour to make $20,000 a year gross. Now, we're going to divide this by 26, which is every 2 weeks. Let's assume that they get paid bi-weekly. And there's 52 weeks in a year. Half of that's 26. So let's go ahead and divide that by 26. And that brings us to $769.23 every 2 weeks. Okay? Now, out of that $769.23, I'm going to give I don't have a paycheck to look at of somebody that makes this much, but we're just going to use a rough figure. It's probably on the conservative side of, let's just say $200 in deductions, because you've got to pay Medicaid, Social Security, and all that, all that stuff they rob out of your check. So let's just say $200 a check, and that brings us out to $569.23. Now, this is every 2 weeks. So we haven't even talked about health care, because remember the great idea of Obamacare, make it mandatory, penalize people, tax them, or give them some sort of penalty, but force them to pay for medical insurance. Now, I don't know what that costs for somebody in this income bracket, but I'm going to just leave that out. But remember that. Remember, they got to pay for health care on top of that. And that's not cheap if you've looked at any of the prices lately. What this brings us up to is, I'm just going to drop the change off, and we're just going to say they make $1,138 a month, or every 4 weeks. Some months it plays out differently, but instead of trying to hash that all out, we're just going to say a month is 4 weeks. So $1,138. Now, out of that $1,138 a month, they've got to scratch a living out. This is what they have to live on. God forbid you have children and everything, because that's going to be an expense that comes out of here too. So let's just let's say that I don't know how people can afford rent by themselves. A lot of times you'll get a roommate. And so let's just go ahead and say they got a roommate. They're splitting rent, utilities, and all that good stuff. Just that part of it. They're splitting it, and it comes out to, let's say, $500 a month, which that's cheap. That's really cheap, actually. But I'm using really conservative numbers here. So $500 for rent, utilities. All right, so that leaves them with approximately $638 a month. Now, think about this for just a minute. Now, that's $638. What do we have to pay out of the $638? You've got auto insurance. I hope you already have a car that's paid for, because, well, that's got to come out of here too. You can't afford a car payment, and a lot of people's car payments are the $638, but you still have to buy food. So you've got car insurance. If you're a younger person there, your insurance is going to be higher because of the liability. If you know, I don't even see how you can afford a new car in this range. You know, you got to buy a used car and get liability insurance just to make it. So you've got all this, and this all got to come out $638 for 4 weeks. And then you've got food. You've got to eat. If you're young, you might want to go out with friends and stuff. Now, this is all got to come out of this amount. Now, think about this for just a minute. So we figured all of this much out. Now, I can look on this website. Let's look at Walmart.com, or just Walmart in general. I can look on their website, and if you look here, you've got shirts for t-shirts. So I'm going to use t-shirts as an example of the cost of goods. And again, this all reflects back to the person that makes $20,000 a year, because this is who it hurts if you haven't figured this out. So a t-shirt I can get on the from Walmart for somewhere around $5, $6, maybe $7 if I get maybe a Hanes, which may be a little better than the Fruit of the Loom shirt. And now let's look up one. Now you can buy made in the U.S. So let's look on a website there that sells it made in the USA. And as you can see, according to this particular website, we're talking about $11 a t-shirt. It's almost twice the price of the one that we get from Walmart that's made who knows where. Okay, but not only is it $11, but we also, when I calculated shipping, the cheapest shipping option is $5. So now it's $16 for that t-shirt. The one that's $10 more than what I can buy it from Walmart for. But hey, the good news is it's made in the US. Now, wherever you're talking about the $638, and I still haven't, at $638, it's not any of the other expenses I mentioned before, which brings you down to, let's just say you got $100 spending money, not much, and you're having to buy things like t-shirts or pants or something like that. You have to pay, the people who want jobs here in the U.S., everything to be made in the U.S. and not in these foreign countries, they're wanting everybody to pay $15 a t-shirt. Oh, no, wait, no you don't. You don't want to pay for U.S., you don't want to pay people to make them in the U.S., but you want them made in the U.S. because, again, this is the cost of made in the U.S. right here. It's $15 or $16 to have it shipped to you, because you can't go pick this up, not like Walmart. So you've got to pay this much to, and now I had to have internet to order that. And if you don't have internet, oh, well, good luck. But, so you want them to pay more for these t-shirts. Now this is just one thing. This is just simply one. And everything will go up if everything is made in the US. All the prices will. Now, rich people don't have a problem paying the difference. Well, they do, they'll gripe about it because they tend to be tight on their money, and that's how they have money. But poor people, they can't afford to have near as much. Their dollar does not go as far. When you're paying $15 a t-shirt versus $6 a t-shirt, you can't buy 2 t-shirts or 3 t-shirts, however many you can get. You can't buy as many. So in other words, your quality of living goes down as a poor person. Somebody making $20,000 a year, your quality of living goes down. Your standard of living decreases. Now, so when you talk about bringing manufactured jobs back to the United States and quit importing all these cheap goods from other countries, this is who you're hurting. This is the reality of it. Now, if you want me to make a video explaining about corporate greed, greedy businesses and all that, I will. I'll break that down for you if you don't understand that as well. But this is the lowdown. So manufacturing is not the only industry. Matter of fact, whenever one industry goes out, it frees up labor to work in other jobs. So just think about this. You're hurting the poor person. The person, when I say poor, 20,000, I mean there's a lot of people that make that much or even less. This is who you're hurting whenever you talk about that. So hopefully I've made my point. If not, well, I tried. Have a good one.